Dubai is some of the best restaurants in the world, including one that started in my hometown of London. Pepe's Peri is the place to go when you want some fresh and flavoursome chicken. Today On.Point is joined by Sohaib Masood, who is a master franchise partner. Sohaib, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And on behalf of me and all my friends, thank you for bringing Pepe's to Dubai, because we can't get enough of it.
I mean, it is one of the most loved product right now in the market.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So for those who don't know the story, what is the story of Pepe's?
Pepe's basically started back in 2007 in London. We, as a family business, we took it up north in Birmingham in 2011. So that was the first store that actually went out of London. And at that time, particularly, Pepe's were just concentrating in south in London. But we took the risk. At that time, there was no like a Piri concept up in north. I, as a university student, I always thought this would do very well up north. So that's when we made our decision in 2010.
So they have you to thank for the northern expansion.
The northern, definitely. As soon as Birmingham opened in 2011, it took us a year just to kind of like get everything, because we went from business and food background specifically. So it took us a year to set everything up. But in 2011, August, it was the month that we actually opened, and from there, Pepe's actually really took off. I still remember when we opened, people used to drive from Nottingham, from Manchester, so
all the way to London
just
for Pepe's.
Birmingham, it became like very popular very quickly.
Okay, a bit like me driving from the Palm to Motor City.
Exactly. So I mean, it's doing the same wonders here as well right now. So I'm very happy and very
excellent.
proud.
And I believe you have over 150 stores, including Pakistan and Ireland.
Yep, as we speak right now, worldwide, I think there's over 160.
Okay.
Predominantly, majority are in UK at the moment, but we have good plans for this region as well.
Chicken, you was my addiction, dripping with high cholesterol. Like Greeks with his falafel, Italian with his tomato pasta. What roti is to a roster, trapping me. You and your friend mac and cheese candy.
Okay, talking about plans. So, what is maybe the vision for the UAE for Dubai?
I mean, UAE, particularly Dubai, it's a hub for the Middle East. Once it's a success here, it's going to be success throughout the whole GCC. So there's a huge potential in not just UAE but the majority
GCC.
of the Middle East. But the plan is to actually roll out company-owned stores before we even look out for franchise partners. It's just to make sure the infrastructure, the support structure is there for the franchisees to be successful, because we want ultimately them to be successful. It's not just about for the sake of opening. It's about making sure they are successful in future. So at the moment, the rollout plan is to just have the company-owned stores managed by us, and then within maybe a year or two, we'll look at
Franchise opportunities.
Partners, yeah.
Okay. What would you say it takes to be a franchise owner? What's the average background of the people that have franchises in the UK, and what kind of challenges do they face?
I mean, since we provide a full operation manual, the training structure, we don't really look out for people with food. You don't necessarily need a food background. You could be in any business. However, it's a plus to have food experience if you have from before. It makes it a bit easier for the franchisees because they already know what they're expecting, because food business is not a very easy one.
Yeah, it's very competitive, right?
People generally think that because they see a certain store busy with customers coming in and out, but they fail to realize what's beyond that, the hard work, the dedication that actually goes in there. So we don't necessarily need people with food backgrounds, but somebody with a strong business ethics, dedication, who have the willpower to actually be successful, is something that we look for our franchise partners.
Okay, that's good to know. And you touched on, food. I came to the store yesterday. I wanted to do an extreme chicken wing challenge, and you chickened out. So, what is the highest flavour you go to?
I normally just go just about extra hot, and that's even with the garlic sauce. If I have the garlic dip, I'll take extra hot. But if I don't, the max I can go is hot.
Okay.
It's just, don't get me wrong, the extra hot, it has more flavor than it actually is hot. But like I said, with my garlic dip, I'll take extra. But anything
Okay.
more than that, it's too much for me.
Okay. I'm an extra hot guy. I did hot once, and it just didn't have that same kick. So I'm like, hey, let me stick with extra hot.
Yeah.
So no, I love.
Honestly
I love the
speaking,
product.
whoever takes extra hot, it just sticks to that. It doesn't go anywhere up or down.
If it's not broken,
Exactly.
don't try to fix it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you're speaking about what it takes to be a franchise owner, you spoke about dedication and that people don't see the hard work in the background. Was there a time in Pepe's history that, the future wasn't as bright as it is now? You didn't have the success that you had now. Was there a time things were challenging and you could have maybe given up or something like that?
Not that I can think of.
It's been a success from the start. Okay,
success,
that's great.
It's been a success since 2011. The only point that I was a bit down was during COVID, because we actually opened Pepes in Dubai during COVID, and it was very challenging. Opening wasn't challenging, but actually the marketing, the whole getting the word out there was very challenging at that time. And at one point, because of so much deliveries, things were going more towards deliveries than dine. So that was the only challenge that I particularly thought was a bit scary at that time.
Okay, what kept you going?
I mean,
Because some people, when they face challenges, they just
what
give
my
up.
business, especially with Pepe's, is that product, service, and consistency. These are three things that I really focus on. I just get my managers to just do not think about anything else. Don't think about marketing. That's not your job. You just focus on your product, your service, and keep it consistent. Because the first customer that walks through the door, 10 years later, if you're still walking through the door, that means it's very consistent. So that's what I concentrated on. I said, I believe in my product and I believe in myself. So we're just going to continue making sure that every product, every customer that gets served gets exactly the same product. So that's what was the main thing that I stuck to.
And it's definitely worked. And there's a
and
friend
I
of
think,
mine that he ordered twice in the same day. So I think he had it for lunch, and he was like, "What I'm going to have for dinner?" And he's like, "I want Pepe's again." So that's how how good your product actually is.
I mean, it's very, very. I would say, at the moment, 80% of our customers are generally regular repeat customers, and I believe in this market right now, it's probably the highest number you can. I mean, you cannot eat any other food in the market that much in a week as Pepe's grilled, obviously steam cooked, fresh grilled, healthy chicken. So you can't really get enough of it, honestly speaking.
Yeah,
we've been in for the last 10 years, and we pretty much eat 3-4 times a week ourselves.
Okay, that's good to know then. Last question I have for you is, what advice would you give to someone that wants to start something? You're the one that went to the family and said, I think it'll be successful up in North, but there was no track record of that. There was no guarantees of success. What does it take to make those kind of bold steps and to start something new?
I think main thing is that you need to have something unique. Number one, it's something that is out, kind of like stands out, rather than once you have something that is already saturated, and of course it's going to naturally become very competitive for you. I would say something that stands out, and then you got your dedication, your consistency, and your hard work. These are the main three I think are key to success. Consistency is very important. It's something that even if you look at some of the other brands around, the global brands, they just stuck to their core and they kept it very consistent, and that's why they're successful. If you eat some of the products, you're not going to be like wow, but because they're very consistent, I think that's the main key to success. Is the consistency. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're good at something, just keep it consistent.
Keep it going.
There's no point going or trying to introduce certain things and trying to change things very quickly. Of course, you can always improvise on your product. You can make it better as the year by year goes on, but you don't want to change it too much. Where if you're good at something, just keep it consistent.
That's very good advice. I think even I've realised the importance of consistency and being committed to something as well. So even when you have hard times like you had during COVID, because of that commitment, you keep going and you were consistent.
Yeah.
So no, thank you very much, and thank you for bringing Pepe's here. I look forward to continuing to enjoy it and seeing its growth as well over the years.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
Once I did an interview, forgot to press record, and it was only towards the end I was like, wait, what does green mean? And I was like, okay, green means it hasn't started, and that's why that red is on. So red means on. So so I make mistakes, you learn as you go along, right?